This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's get right into the news. Hit that like button. Okay, so you're probably starting your day off with this, or you're ending your night. Now, it's looking like Charlamagne could be leaving the Breakfast Club. Everything's kind of lining up right now. I mean, he just announced a huge deal the past week. He's launching a whole network with iHeart. So he didn't renew his deal with Revolt. And he was kind of fuzzy about his deal with iHeart, especially when Joe Budden was up there. Now he's having a feud with Joe Budden, but when Joe Budden was up there and they were talking about Revolt and everything, he said he didn't renew his contract. I think Envy did. I'm not sure if Angela Yee did, but Angela Yee and Charlemagne were at each other around that time. Remember Gucci Man kind of went at Envy and Angela Yee around that time? This is like months and months ago. And the question has been all year, is Charlemagne going to stay with the Breakfast Club? Now, we don't know. We don't know, but I would have to say he probably will move on. He has leveled up, and you got to applaud him. Okay, he's done a lot of leveling up the past decade. The Breakfast Club was announced about 10 years ago, and throughout time, he was a savage the first couple of years. He brought a lot of attention to the Breakfast Club with his savage questions and reactions to people, getting people mad. He got chased out of the station once. I mean, he went through it all the first couple of years. And then he kind of matured. And, I don't really like all his questioning. Later, it seemed a little divisive. But that's enough. That he's entitled. He's his own journalist. He's entitled to do what he wishes. But recently, we've seen him kind of grow apart from Angela Yee. He's always tight with Envy. We've seen him have MTV shows. He has his Brilliant Idiots podcast. He had his YouTube channel for the past year. And I think that was showing iHeart that he can stand on his own and interview people and carry a conversation for an hour on video. Now, what a great idea to shop something. And look, he has his own network now. I think it's called The Black Effect or something like that, but it's with iHeart. And it looks like Nori's going over there with his podcast. And he might leave the Breakfast Club or he might stay on. I don't know. They'll probably phase him out and he'll move on to other things. He still has his Brilliant Idiots podcast. And Andrew Schultz has also leveled up the past couple years, has his own studio with multiple shows coming out. Congratulations to all of them. Joe Budden is leaving Spotify. We already covered him today, talking about the deal with Charlemagne and how Charlemagne went to Spotify. They didn't offer enough, and also they wanted a piece of his. They wanted to own a piece of his network. Now, when he goes to iHeart, they're not going to own his network. He's going to retain it. I think they just have a licensing deal for a certain amount of years. Smart move. He takes less money, but has the ownership. So the next deal he does will be a big deal because he's starting a network. So once you start a network, we've seen these podcast networks get sold to Spotify for tons of money. Spotify buys podcast network. I mean, I think it's been upwards of $60 million. They're acquiring podcast to build original podcast network. Buys from Gimlet and Anchor. Anchor, if you don't know, was a whole podcast network that allowed you to just do your own podcast from your phone. I used it years ago. It cost them $230 million for those two networks. Now, Anchor's huge. It allows anybody to do a podcast. It's a firm. I think Gimlet, I don't know enough about Gimlet, but I know they have some big podcasts on Gimlet, and they have other podcast networks they've bought. They spent a lot of money. So anyways, we got Charlemagne, might be leaving the Breakfast Club. Here's a quick turn, or how do you say a twist in the story. What if Joe Budden took Charlemagne's place on the Breakfast Club? I see it's highly unlikely because he's got a taste of that independent just way of working. But imagine that. I mean, him and Envy would go toe to toe. But I don't know. It wouldn't be the same without Charlemagne. Obviously, I think that Joe Budden's... I could see him actually joining Charlemagne's network, because he'll still retain... Charlemagne might let him retain ownership or give him a piece, in a sense, saying like, yo, if we ever sell, I'll give you this much. You know, he could bring everything over to Charlemagne. I see that happening, honestly. A weird twist of events. Even though they're going at each other right now because Charlemagne doesn't agree with his business practices, I could see that happening. Anyways, Joe Budden's going to be fine anyways because he's going to go independent and make more money. And I think he's making a courageous move, even though asking for that much money from... I think he just tried asking a huge number from Spotify just to be funny. It's silly out there. But anyways, this is JordanTower with JT News. I know I'm critical of a lot of things, but I do applaud this because it does show leveling up in every aspect of what's going on right now, which is pretty cool. Anyways, guys, I'll check you guys in the next one. I hope you guys start your day off right. You start your day off believing in yourself. You start your day off with a plan. Even me right now, I'm kind of reinventing a couple things. I'm starting some new pieces of content that I'm going to add in here, and it's always like, it's always good to keep a journal and write down everything you want to do and before you start executing, so you could kind of, and this goes for anything, whether you're starting a new job or how you want to live your life or a new schedule you're trying to do and you're trying to accomplish new goals. It's good to keep a journal, stay organized, and try to get into a different schedule. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm kind of struggling with it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of struggling through doing that, but it's all about a journey and going step by step, and I'm going through the steps right now, trying to better myself and trying to give you guys better content, just different kinds of things, because, it is still, everything's still kind of shut down out here, and the news is different than normal. We usually have more to talk about. There's less to talk about now, and you got to get a little more creative and use this kind of stuff for your life. We can talk through it. You just got to believe in yourself and know that it's going to be okay. And, you're smarter than you think, okay? And you're capable of more than you think. And your mind will work it out when it's time. But you got to work a little bit at it each day like I'm doing. I'll keep you posted on that daily, actually, because it's something I want to accomplish by the end of this month and just have a new schedule and pattern. Still the same channel, just more stuff, more entertainment. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys just start your day feeling positive, keep negative and distractions away from you. That's what I'm trying to do the most right now. And just, eat right and exercise and just give your body the right energy it needs to keep going and keep that mind healthy and focused. I appreciate you guys. This is JordanTower with JT News, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.